Hi everyone, so today is 27th of May 2026 and the time is around 16:30. We are on our way to Padam from Leh. We started at 2 o'clock and we are about 40 kilometers short of Padam, and if you can make out there in the distance there is a green patch. Maybe that is Padam, I am not very sure, or maybe it might be ahead of that. So we have just traveled through the Zanskar valley, which was a very narrow valley, and just a little while ago it has opened up, and now you can see these wide vistas right from left to right. And I'll just pan around to show you how it is. And just for everyone's information, Richa is also traveling with me today. This was an impromptu program made just last night. That's the vehicle that we are traveling in, and the mountains all around us. Please don't judge the travel by the condition of the road that you see in this, because the road for almost 15 kilometers which we have just covered, there wasn't any road at all. So this road is still under construction and it is the alternate access to Manali. Catch you later. Bye. Yeah, so we are about 15 kilometers short of Padam, and as you can see the valley had broadened up already, and the even better part is now that there are snow-clad mountains just maybe around 20-30 kilometers from us, and Padam is right at the base of these mountains. And we had just stopped for a couple of photographs, and now moving on another 10-15 minutes we should be there at Padam. And we intend to spend tomorrow half of the day and then return to Leh. So that's how the vista is in front of you. Bye bye. So we are just about 5 kilometers short of Padam, and the wide vistas that are visible. The sun is actually facing us, so it is this side that will be more clear to see. And wonderful blue skies, white clouds, snow-capped mountains, and that's Padam in front of you. Coming up, you can see those settlements. And let's come back and catch you later. Bye. Hi, good morning everyone. So the time is about 6:10 a.m. in the morning of 28th of May, and we are at Padam. And as you see, it's a very pretty place. That in the far distance is the Padam town, and we are staying out here at 13 Border Roads Task Force. So this is the BRTF which is responsible for constructing the access from Nimu to Padam to Darhca and then further to Manali. This road is almost through, and just a little bit of finishing is left, which will get completed on by end of August this year. And as I pan around, you can see the brilliant snow catching the sunlight, the morning sun. The sun has just come above the mountains there, and this is the mountain right behind us. Let me just zoom in and show you how 13 has established a name for itself. And then we come back. These are their shelters in which people reside, and the stack of stones that I'm standing on, I'll just zoom into it. Almost every stone here has some Buddhist inscription, as you can make out here, on this one, even the ones that I'm standing. So I don't know if I'm standing on a holy site or something, but every stone here seems to have an inscription. So it's a little mind-boggling as to how much effort people have put into inscribing these things on the stones. I believe they are the same as those that are printed onto the flags. So these are basically blessings. The Buddhists believe that the blessings which are there on the flags, the wind carries them all around. Okay, let me now come walk a little ahead and show you the Zanskar river. So what you see there down in the valley is the Zanskar river. This flows from Padam onwards to a place called Zangla, and then through a very narrow valley called the Zanskar valley, and then merges with the Indus river at Sangam, which is a tourist destination near Leh. So that's the point where the Zanskar river merges with Indus. And okay, so we have come to the edge of this high ground, and what you see here is a bridge on the Zanskar river, and again a part of the town. The location right below is the old location of the same 13 BRTF that we are staying in. Lovely green plains here. The greenery here is much more than Leh. I believe it is more conducive, maybe because of the water and also the snow close by. So today we intend to visit 2 or 3 places, maybe the Sheela Waterfall, the Karsha Monastery, and one other monastery before we head back. And let me just stop it for the moment, and I'll catch you later. Bye, have a nice day. Hi, good morning everyone once again. So I've just done a little bit of climb. Out there in the center of the frame is the the BRTF location that I started from. Followed this track coming all the way up here, and then where I'm standing. However, this time I'll just talk about a little different things. So the valley that you see there, and maybe you can make out the track going towards the left of the frame, that is the road which goes from Padam to Darhca and onwards to Manali. Now as I pan around, you have a great visibility of the Padam town. There is even a golden Buddha inside the BRTF location. There you might be able to make it out. Then so that's the Padam town, and as we pan further right, so this particular valley that you see, there's a little bit of shadow of the mountain also there. That is the valley which leads towards Kargil. So even from Padam there's a third axis which goes towards Kumbathang and then onwards to Kargil. Takes about 4.5 hours from Padam to Kargil, and once at Kargil you can either turn left and go to Srinagar or turn right and come back to Leh. And as I pan further, that's the valley, this valley and this direction in which the Zanskar river flows, and the road goes to Nimu or Leh. And this is the hill behind me, the sun having popped out from behind the mountains and coming back to where I started. So you can see the river, you might be able to make out some roads there on the mountain. In the far distance you can see these roads, and so there's the Karsha Monastery that we'll be heading to today, and if I'm right, it is somewhere there. This particular place that you see a lot of settlement, that's the Karsha Monastery. And then there's a wonderful peak up in the mountains jutting out of the snow. Okay, see you, bye. So we are approaching Sheela Waterfall. As usual, today is 28th of May, time around 9:45 or 10 o'clock. Richa is walking ahead with our guide, and this is the Sheela Waterfall. Lovely clean water. I don't know if you can make out from here. Crystal clear water and amazing view. So that's the road by which we have come, and lovely snow-clad peak there. Don't know the name of the peak. And back to where we were, approaching the waterfall, and there it is. They have a small pool just next to it. The good part is that the water is not falling directly into the pool, so there seems to be another level, and then it comes down to this level. So, and Richa is having water straight from the fall. Beautiful. It would be a wonderful experience to try and climb the sides, but not in the current gear. Bye bye. So this is Sani Lake, again tourist or a picturesque spot close to Padam. This is on the Padam Kargil axis, about maybe 15 kilometers, 10 to 15 kilometers from Padam, and there is Richa and our guide Lobzang. So we have lush carpet grass here, something one would not expect in a place like Ladakh, but yeah, looks very beautiful. So and as I pan around, you can see our driver Satish and beautiful snow-clad mountains, and that's the access to Kargil. And we are now going near the Yak. We'll click some photos there, and then near the Buddha statue. Hi everyone, so the time is around 11:40 or 11:45. We are at Karsha Monastery. So this is, as I'll just show you, this is built into a side of a mountain, absolute hard rock. And as the one of the monks here was telling me, this is more than 1,000 years old. And what you see in front of you is the view of the Zanskar Valley as it opens up and flattens out into Padam. There in the far distance is Padam. So that's the Padam town, and a little to the left, if you can make out the green shelters, that would be the 13 BRTF location where we are staying. Today we have travelled from 13 BRTF to the Sheela Waterfall, then we went to the Sani Lake. The Sani Lake is somewhere there, and after the Sani Lake we have come to Karsha Monastery. We intend to go to the Golden Buddha, which is here. Okay, so before I end this video, let me just tell you, in the Karsha Monastery there is the mummy of one of the Rinpoches or one of the old monks who had attained Nirvana, and his body or his mummy is preserved inside a gompa now, and we could have a look at it. Of course photography wasn't permitted, but it is wonderful. The body seems to be very well preserved, and the monk tells us that the hair and the nails still grow. So, and down below is the Karsha village, and that's the Golden Buddha statue. And after visiting that, we'll be going back to 13 BRTF, having lunch, and then pushing back to Leh. Bye bye. So we have started back from Padam to Leh. The time would be around 1:45. We have crossed Stongde. There was a monastery there which we could have visited, but decided against it because the weather was also packing up, and Richa was also a little bit tired. And this is the Zanskar Valley far in the distance. If you can make out a green patch, that is the Zangla village, the first major village after Padam. And at Zangla there is a Golden Buddha. If it is somewhere near the road, then we might stop there for a while, or we might continue directly to Leh. And the road is lovely, very smooth, double laned, and hardly any traffic. Incidentally, today is also not the movement day, because here the road for Leh remains open only on Wednesdays and Sundays. Today being Thursday, we are making our way through, courtesy being in an army vehicle. So that's how the drive is. And though the first part of the day was all bright and sunny, generally in the afternoon the winds pick up and the clouds also come over, and this time there are not many of them, and the weather is overcast. Seems to be snowing at the higher reaches, and we'll make it to Leh hopefully by 6 o'clock. See you then. Bye. So recommencing this video, there in the distance is Zangla village, about 9 kilometers from now. The road is amazing. We would be driving at maybe 100 kilometers per hour. The vistas are great either side. Have a look. And once we reach Zangla, then the valley turns left, the Zanskar River Valley, and I guess we start heading west thereafter. So right now we are heading a little bit north, so we turn west and then again we turn north, and then maybe we reach Nimu. So Zangla is 7 kilometers from now. Bye bye. So as you can see, we are traveling just along the river. This is Karsha River flowing to our left and in the same direction as what we are moving. And this is the approach towards Zangla. Okay, so what you see here is the Zangla Meadow. So they have officially named it as the Zangla Meadow, and people are actually enjoying a picnic. They have brought their garden umbrellas, but must admit that the breeze or the wind here is really strong. So I really doubt how good a picnic or enjoyable a picnic can one have here. Yeah, so the Golden Buddha has just become visible to me. Let's see if it is somewhere close to the road, and we might stop there for a while. So we are somewhere near Nirak right now, about to reach Nirak in maybe another 5-6 kilometers. As you will be able to see in a little while, the road is being cut through rock, and there is rock overhanging. I had just clicked a photo a little while earlier where it was a complete overhang, and this is almost a partial overhang. So wonderful job being done by the roads. Okay, coming up in the distance is another site where the road has been cut right under the mountain. So here you will have a view where the rock is overhanging the entire width of the road. So you can see a car passing under it, and very soon we too will be passing under this overhanging rock. The river valley here is not more than 50 to 60 meters wide, so it's that narrow. And look at this. And this is fresh blasting. Most likely this has taken place today or yesterday. Just a path has been cleared enough for vehicles to pass. The men are still at work. Bye. So the third site where we are passing right under the rocks that have been cut. This one is a longish patch, and I think we are very close to Nirak. The moment this valley opens up, we'll have Nirak on the other side of the bridge, and thereafter I believe there is a paved road. So there's about 11 to 15 kilometers stretch which is yet to be completed, and the car ahead of us, maybe in I-10 or something, even that's been able to make it despite. Okay, so this guy is stuck. He'll have to go back and maybe come from the right. Haryana number Eon, that's a Hyundai Eon. The other occupants have gotten out of the car to reduce the weight and maybe clear some stones. Let's see if he makes it. So they were able to make it. He had taken the wrong approach the earlier time. So it's a Hyundai Eon, and even that's been traveling here. So no requirement of a 4x4 vehicle. Even small cars. In fact, small cars are much more advantageous. They are able to make their way through. So we have just crossed Nirak. The weather also seems to have opened up. It's bright sunlight now, and just maybe a half a kilometer ahead of Nirak is this crossing. It's basically referred to as a water crossing. The Nala is flowing across the road. So just a little bit of adventure, but nothing very great. The water must be hardly feet deep. And we move on. So we are somewhere in between Nirak and Chilling, and why I have stopped here is because of a wonderful sight. So the Zanskar river is to our right as we are moving towards Nimu, and what you see in front is a pure rock which is dry as anything, and out of that is coming out this very pretty waterfall coming and joining the Zanskar river here. So such a sight rarely you get to see. It's coming through the heart of the mountain. Okay, so they've got a landmark here. That's Satish, and that's my wife Richa inside the Scorpio who's unwilling to come out. And again, just for everyone's information, it's raining lightly, the breeze is strong, the winds are chilly, and I want to go back now. Bye bye.